Hello dear students, welcome to BIC's audio learning session. In this episode, we are going to continue our understanding regarding the chapter of breathing and exchange of gases. In that, we are going to understand about, in this episode, human respiratory system. Let's begin. Human respiratory system consists of a pair of air passages, which is otherwise also called air tract, and the second part is lungs. So, human respiratory system is having two parts in it, namely the air passages, which is otherwise also called air tract, and the second part is lungs. Now, let's understand the air passages first. Air passages consists of the conducting part. The conducting part is that part which transports the atmospheric air into the alveoli of the lungs and clears the atmospheric air from foreign particles, and it humidifies the atmospheric air and brings that air to the body temperature. So, what are all the functions which have been carried out by the conducting part? I repeat, it transports the atmospheric air into the alveoli of the lungs and clears the atmospheric air which has been breathed in by the organism from the foreign particles, and it humidifies the air and then brings the air to the body temperature. Now, let's understand each part of it. The conducting part contains a pair of nostrils which is opening out above the upper lips. It leads to nasal passage. This nasal passage leads to nasal chamber, and this nasal chamber opens next into nasopharynx. This nasopharynx is actually a portion of pharynx, and pharynx is a common passage for both food and air. Nasopharynx opens through glottis into the larynx region. Larynx is the sound box, and from the larynx region the air passages open into the trachea. Trachea is a straight tube extending up to the mid-thoracic cavity. Larynx is actually a cartilaginous box which helps in sound production, and hence it is called the sound box. It so happens during swallowing, the glottis is covered by a thin elastic cartilaginous flap called epiglottis, which prevents the entry of food into the larynx. So this is a beautiful mechanism wherein there is a flap, thin flap, cartilaginous flap called epiglottis, which closes the glottis so that the food does not enter the larynx, and so the food is directed onto the esophagus tract. Next, let's continue our understanding. Trachea further divides at the level of fifth thoracic vertebra into the right and the left primary bronchi. So, trachea is dividing into right and left primary bronchi in the fifth thoracic vertebra. Each bronchus undergoes repeated divisions to form the secondary and tertiary bronchi, and the miniature branch we call it as the bronchioles, and bronchioles end up in very thin terminal bronchioles. The trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, and initial bronchioles are supported by incomplete cartilaginous rings, which we call it as the C rings because it resembles like the alphabet C. It's not a complete ring, it's only a semi ring, so we call it as the C cartilage, which prevents their collapsing. Otherwise, the tracts may collapse. So, in order to prevent that, they are being lined with what are called as the C cartilage. Each terminal bronchiole again ends up in a very thin, irregular, vascularized bag-like structure called alveoli. In fact, alveoli are the structural and functional unit of lungs. Now I'll just quickly summarize the passage of the air. First is external nostrils, then the air enters nasal passage, then to the nasal chamber or the nasal cavity, then to the nasopharynx, then to the glottis, then to larynx, from larynx into the trachea, then trachea into the primary bronchi, from primary bronchi to secondary bronchi, secondary bronchi to tertiary bronchi, tertiary bronchi to bronchioles, from bronchioles to terminal bronchioles, then to the respiratory bronchioles, and finally to the alveolar duct, which is ending in the alveoli. So that's about the first part, that is the air passages, which is called the conducting part. Now let's understand about the lungs, the second part. Lungs are situated in the thoracic chamber and is resting on diaphragm. Lung is having two parts, right lung and left lung. Again, right lung has 3 lobes and left lung has 2 lobes. Right lung is larger and left lung is smaller. For the reason, in the left side there is presence of the liver. So therefore, left lung is having only 2 lobes. So what are the lobes of the right lung? Anterior lobe, middle lobe and posterior lobe. And left lung is having only 2 lobes, namely anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. There is no middle lobe there. Next, lungs are covered by double layered membrane called pleura. This pleura is a outer pleura and there is a inner pleura. The outer pleura, the outer layer of the pleura is called parietal pleura, and the inner layer of the pleura is called visceral pleura. In between these two layers, there is a space called interpleural space, which is filled with pleural fluid. And what is the use of this pleural fluid? It lubricates the surface of the lungs and prevents the friction between the membranes. So what is the things the lungs consisting of? It consists of the bronchi, which is entering into the lungs, and it branches into primary, secondary, tertiary bronchi and then into the bronchioles and the alveoli. These are the composition of the lungs. Alveoli and their ducts form respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system. As I already told you, what are alveoli? Alveoli are the structural and functional units of lungs. Now let's get into some more detail regarding the exchange part in the lungs. The actual diffusion of air is happening in the lungs. Thoracic cavity is an airtight cavity. It is formed dorsally by vertebral column and ventrally by sternum, laterally by ribs and on the lower side by diaphragm. Any exchange in the thoracic cavity is reflected in the lung cavity. The lung cavity is also called pulmonary cavity. Now respiration involves the following steps. The first step, pulmonary ventilation or pulmonary breathing, or simply called breathing, in which atmospheric air is drawn in and carbon dioxide rich alveolar air is thrown out. Next step, gaseous exchange between alveoli and blood. Next step, gas transport, that is oxygen transport and carbon dioxide transport, where the diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and the tissues will happen. Next, utilization of oxygen by the cells for catabolic reactions, which can release in the production of carbon dioxide as a resultant product. And this process we call it as cellular respiration or tissue respiration. So that's about the human respiratory system parts and the steps of respiration. In the next episode, let's understand regarding mechanism of breathing. Keep practicing. All the best.